Recording, everybody, and welcome. And if everyone has a copy of the minutes from our last meeting, which I think was actually July 31st, it seems like forever ago, if people can take a second to review them, and then if anyone wants to make a motion to approve them as written.
I am very sorry for that.
So, hi, welcome, Cheryl.
Sorry.
You just missed a minute or so. As you know, we're all being recorded. And we're at the point where we're looking over the minutes, and I'm asking if anyone from the board, anyone from the floor wants to make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll approve of the minutes.
You make the motion?
Yes.
Any second? Anyone want to second the motion that we approve the minutes as presented? I don't think, no, if I can, I'm going to second it.
Maureen's not connected.
Oh, okay. I see we have two connections from Maureen. Patsy, you were on mute. And so if you wanted to second that motion, you wouldn't be able to do it. We can't hear you speaking.
Yeah, I tried to, and I realized I couldn't.
Oh, okay. Would you like to second that?
I would.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. And all opposed, say nay. Anyone abstain? Okay, the ayes have it. The minutes are approved. Thank you very much, Maureen. So now we're moving on to, well, I'm just going to mention that, as everyone knows, our last meeting was canceled. That's on the agenda that I should just mention that. I hope everyone's doing well after the storm. Hello, Tink, welcome.
Hello.
So I think we have everybody here now, and I'm just telling everybody that we're all being recorded. Our minutes have been approved, and we're getting on to sort of the nitty-gritty where we look at the actions, and our agenda lists all of them here. But as most of you know, I was going to really focus on the ones that are where we're in danger of not getting our points. I think we're going to get, in terms of the total number of points, I think we're going to do very well. Thanks especially to Cheryl, who was.
You know what? I just want to say, Holly, I'm sorry to cut you off. Seeing the document that Aaron sent, I'm actually quite concerned.
Okay.
There are lots of little things that need attention.
Mm-hmm.
So, we
okay,
can talk about the most pressing ones first, but it really brought to my attention that we have lots of little nits and bits like that we need to go in and fix and revise.
Okay, let's start going through it. Okay, let's. Does everyone have this action that Aaron sent out that lists all the current number of points completed and potential number of points that must be approved or revised? Let's start going through that. And Cheryl, if you want to just say where your areas of concern are. You sent that in an email.
Yeah.
As well.
So if we look at action 1,
mm-hmm.
And who do we have here? Katie or
Aaron? I'm here for now. Katie will be coming, but
okay. So Aaron, are we correct that action 1 we're all set, and if we get 5 points for 1.4, we'll have 20 points under action 1?
Yep.
Okay. Action 2, are we very sure that we're going for 2.8, we are going to be okay for August? Like that's still valid for this application?
I'm pretty sure that I double checked the dates, and it looks like it should hold for this cycle. Not the next one, but for this one, it should work.
So we're definitely okay there. And I saw that for 2.10, which Maureen's been working really hard on, and I think, Holly, you just sent out a document too. There are a lot of attachments in there. Aaron, did you put those in for Maureen?
I did not do them yet.
I put those in. Okay. Basically, all the documentation is off of that Facebook page. And so, about 16 of those were screenshots from Facebook. I think I'm also going to get a brochure from her.
Okay.
but it does document, it is before and after pictures.
Okay, and what I sent to Maureen was we should be sure that we can break out 2.10.2, which is taking care of the municipal location, which is just town hall. And
Okay.
Maureen, I think you're right, Haynes and Town Woods as well, but nothing about Lyme Art Association in 2.10.2. It's municipal property that the municipality is addressing invasive species on. And then 2.10.3 is the education part. And we need to, and I know, Holly, you just sent out some documents. I haven't had time to look at them yet, but maybe that's what you're doing. 2.10.3 has to be just about how we're educating the public on invasives.
Yes, and I did not write anything about 2.10.3. All I wrote about was 2.10.2, and 90% of it was about town hall, but I do mention other partners include the Lyme Art Academy. But at least 90% of it was about the town hall thing. And also
so all of those attachments, we should make sure it's clear, like which, are they 2 or 3?
Okay. And then some of that, so I was going to leave Maureen with the education side of it, the education write-up, 2.10.3.
Okay.
All right, good. And I'll include Lyme Art Association with that. Also, the fact that Suzanne last night and I agreed that they're going to do an educational part in the back of Town Hall. And I suggested, and I started writing this in my narrative, that this could be part of an adjunct to what conservation has done at Haynes Park, which is the signage and the little markers for the plants, and build it a little bit more. So I'm not sure if that's municipal or residential, but I've got it written into the residential part.
So that would be for an April submission.
Okay.
We're past the deadline.
Okay. All right. I'll just put it aside for my next application.
But what's really great is you're starting early so that we can do a nice job packaging it rather than scurrying around last minute.
Yeah, and also one of the ideas that came out of conservation on Tuesday night was, as far as Holly's good job of making a report to them, about expanding the walkability and including this time ADA locations. So I turned around and I said, and that's exactly a proof of how you don't just do this one time. You just do it and then you add it and you add some more and you keep on going. So it was a good example. So thanks to Holly for that, but also to Greg for it sort of clicked into place for the commission that really didn't get it up until that moment.
Yeah, I thought that was a great idea that, ADA trails, maybe just leading out to the Barbizon Oak, that would be very practical, and that could get us points next April or next August. So we want to keep that on the radar.
Also thought that the Kitching family, who owns the Old Lyme Inn, would be willing to support that idea because they're trying to connect to the trail from the inn. So we've got another partner if we pursue that.
Yeah, so that's
the other option is an entrance to the McCulloch property off Whippoorwill Road, leading to a bench and a pond. But it could be organized better so that it would be ADA.
Yeah, and those are all wonderful ideas. And just because we're so pressed for time, I am going to put those on the back burner now, but I trust you to keep those on our radar and bring them back up after August 25th, because I think that for next year, those are, worthwhile on their own, and they'll also get us our points, And so they're great ideas.
Okay, so for action 2, we should have between 10 and 15 points. Between what was already approved Aaron, I think you had something already approved in 2.10.
Yeah, there were 5 points approved previously, but then when we unlocked it, we should be, the new 2.10 should be going for 10 points.
Okay, so that's hopefully going to be 15 points.
Yes.
Okay. So under action 3, 3.1 is done for, hopefully that'll get 15 points. And I need to finish up arts and culture. Right now, I've got it loaded up enough for 15 points, but we're going for 25 points. So hopefully that's going to be, what, 15 and 25? 40 points.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're up to something like 65 just on page 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, and then action 4, Aaron added 4.1. Okay, 4.3. Aaron, you've got this no longer falls within the look back period, so it will not get credit unless it is updated, but it is currently locked and approved. So do we need to assume we're losing those 15 points?
Yeah, I asked Sustainable CT about that, and they said even though on the application it says it's locked, which is extremely confusing, even though it says it's locked and it says it's approved, because it falls out of the look back period, when they look at it again, it won't get points.
Okay.
Unless we show, I think it's current status of that it's been used or updated within the last year.
So we lose those 16 points that are on the chart?
Yep.
Okay, scratch those, okay.
And the next one as well, 4.4, the climate vulnerability assessment was dated outside of the look back period. So are we thinking we're losing those 20 points?
Yep.
Okay, so we've only got 45 on that under 4.
And inventory and assess historic resources. So we've got the 5 there that are stable, right?
Yep.
Okay, so right, Holly, we got 45 under 4.
So total, I think that brings us up to something like 110. Okay, so
45.
then
115 to 120. Okay, so now 5.
mhm.
So 5.1, we're definitely solid for 60 points on that. Correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Hartford Avenue, yeah.
Oh, that's Hartford Avenue. Okay, good. And then, oh, my printer is all smudged up right there. So is this where we're talking about the audit?
Yes.
Okay. And
And
how
those
many?
points, that 15 was previously marked, but it hasn't, I don't know if that is the updated, as if we put all of our work in for 5.5, if it'll still only be 15 points. That's just what was marked in the application.
Can you just elaborate on that? I don't know what that.
So when I made this chart, this action was planned for 15 points, but when this application was last submitted, it was marked as 15 points. I'm not sure if that 15 has been updated yet.
Okay, so we're under 5.5, right?
Yep.
Okay. And that is worth between 5 and 50. Let's just see what an audit is. Okay, an audit can be 10 points. So maybe we should just put in for 10 points. An audit is 5.5.3.
Mm-hmm.
So should we plan on 10 points if that's what that one is worth?
It looks like at least 10 points, but I'm not sure if there are other areas that fit with the work that you guys did. So definitely at least 10.
Okay.
Guys, this is Mary Jo. I'm sorry to interrupt. This is really important. I know. I'll try and connect as soon as I can. Comcast is here and I apologize.
Well, you're a lucky girl to have Comcast there.
I know. I feel very, very lucky. Does anyone else need him while he's here?
I needed him last night, but mine came back.
I'll let him know since you're in the hood, Cheryl. All right,
Yeah.
talk to you later.
Bye.
Thank you, Mary Jo.
Bye.
Okay, so maybe after the meeting, someone can take a look at that 5.5 or action 5 and see what else, 5.5, and see if there's it's like bicycle plans and all. I don't think we have time to do that kind of thing. So let's plan on 10 points for the audit, which would give us 70 points in action 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So that gives us
185, 190.
185.
Yeah.
Okay, action 6, that LED, 6.3, that's still approved, not, and it is definite. I'm glad you made that point, Erin, in your document, because I made it very clear in action 10 that this is different than the LED.
I just read over the document you sent, and I agree that it's different, and the way that you addressed it should be completely fine.
Okay, great. Action 6.5, the municipal energy plan does fall back, but there's a worksheet needed,
Yes.
or else we're not going to get those 10 points. So, is that something doable or not doable?
I can pull it up right now and look at that worksheet that's required.
While you're pulling that up, Erin, also you've got under 6.7 that the reviewer last time, even though it's approved, they wanted a clarification of a partnership with Tanko Lighting.
Yeah, their comment, I can read that to you after I get the worksheet. Their comment was very specific when I reread through it. So let me do the worksheet first. So this worksheet, it is, I wonder if I can, let me see if I can share my screen and show you all what the worksheet looks like. Here we go. Share.
So this has to do with the municipal energy plan.
Can you all see this worksheet?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is the worksheet that we need to submit. It's 1 page about, and the municipal energy plan, the look back period is 10 years, and I believe it was earlier than that. But this needs to be submitted along with the plan that was written. So all you have to do is, it looks like, mark where the pages were referenced to each of the following topics. And then it says it may include topics of the second table there. The energy plan may include topics of the following, and then mark where those pages are as well.
Okay, when you said the energy plan was before the 10 years, was that just, does the energy plan fall within the 10 years?
Yep. I think it was written, I want to say around 2017, maybe 5 or so.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 2015. It was written, actually, I think it was 2014. It was 6 years ago.
Okay.
So the energy plan itself would get credit, but this specific action requires, it's one of those, you must complete all of the following, and this is part of it.
Okay. So how could we get this done?
It looks almost like an index, like you have to write at what page.
Could you send us the worksheet and someone just goes through the what's already been uploaded, the energy plan, and just, fills in the blanks?
Yep.
Okay. And if you can send it to all of us, maybe we'll figure out later who wants to grab that one and just do it.
Okay.
But it's one of the things I see as super urgent. Thank you for flagging that, Cheryl, because I see.
Oh, Erin's the one who saw it.
Yeah. But she sent it to us, but she said, and I didn't notice it actually when I read it. Frankly, I looked. It looked like we were okay.
And so, Erin, can you also, I know the energy plan must be inside or in the application, but not everyone has access to the application. So can you also grab that from the application and
Yep.
include that in the email?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, but that does get us another 15 points, doesn't it? Yes.
Say it again.
I mean, number 6 gets us another 25 points, right?
Well, if we get that chart done, that index done, that
Yeah.
Karen just showed us, and it looks like we have to
Or even-
clarify Tanko lighting.
Yeah, okay. So we'll get between 15 and 30 points.
Yeah, I can read that comment for 6.7 if you guys would like to hear what it says, to see how we can work on it. It says that from the last submission, which was in the spring, that Old Lyme was awarded the 15 points, but says to strengthen your application, next time please include a brief statement to clarify your partnership with Tanko Lighting and what roles you both had in the conversion process. So I think from what I can tell that when Old Lyme converted their streetlights to LED lights, Tanko Lighting was a partner in the process, and this reviewer wanted some sort of a couple sentences on how they were, I believe, how they were contacted, and how they played a process in the conversion process of those lights.
Do you feel like that needs to happen for the August submission?
I can ask. I don't know if it needs to, because this was already, since it is currently locked and approved, but I can ask and get back to you to see if someone needs to write something up about that.
Okay. I think that would probably be someone talking to our facilities director to get that info. All right. So action 6, we have between 5 and 30 points. Okay. Action 7. Now we had been talking 7.1 about one of Suzanne's knotweed things being a sustainability event, but then I went in the application just before I got online, and there's already a sustainability event in there from January, which is a Sierra Club thing that happened at Town Hall.
I think Tink and I were both at that.
Right.
What's that?
I think Tink and I were both attended that.
Yes, I put it into
Sierra
the
Club.
application in
Rebecca.
June.
Yeah.
So it probably fits the bill. Hi, Katie.
Hi guys, sorry for the delay. Had another commitment.
So we should be good on 7.1. Okay, we might want to just add some more documentation with that or something, or like a description. 7.2, we should be all set for that 15 points. 7.3, work does fall within the look back period. Potential for more points were 3 representatives sent to the Sustainable Connecticut Equity Training.
I don't think anyone went in for Sustainable Connecticut Equity Training this year. 2 of us went in last year.
Okay, so that will stay at 5. 7.7, recycle additional materials and compost organics. Has this been updated? Are we planning on doing this action? I don't think we are, right?
I don't think so.
And improve air quality in public spaces. This falls outside of the look back period for this action. Can it be updated and used for the certification cycle in August?
Isn't that the no smoking policy?
Yeah.
I think there was a resolution, and it's still in effect, that smoking
Yeah.
is not allowed.
This action requires some form, let me pull it up to get the exact requirements, but it says if it is still being used, it needs to be, even when it was adopted, it still needs to show some way that it was enforced within the past year.
Okay, so we could ask if there's any kind of enforcement.
Let's see. It says photographs of signage or any other documentation that verifies your municipality's ongoing efforts to reduce smoking and tobacco use would get credit.
Okay, so signage or other public communication?
Yep.
Okay. Now, if a picture were taken now, but it was of a sign that went up a few months ago, is that okay?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, we don't need a certain date stamp. Okay. Okay, so it looks as if under 7, we're going to probably get 25 points. It might be more.
Right. Yeah. So
So
25 to 40 points. But
yeah,
we'll call it 25 to be safe.
yeah. So does that get us up to 200?
215.
Yeah, okay, good.
All right. Then action 8, healthy housing. Is that already updated, Katie and Aaron?
Yep.
All right, so that's like ready to roll.
Yep, that'll get points.
Good.
Okay, so we're up to 225. Then optimize for equity, where we actually have 2 optimize for equities in the works. One is goes with action 5.5 that has been in progress for a year now, basically. And then Cheryl just wrote up this wonderful thing for action 1.4. So in theory, we could get a lot more than 10 points on that, couldn't we? We could be. How many points are available under equity?
Is it 10 per action? Like 10, so maybe 20?
10 per action.
How many per action?
10 per toolkit, I think.
So possibly 20. If they both get approved, then that's 20 points.
Okay.
So hopefully 20, but we could at least plan on 10.
Yeah.
I hope.
I'm sure. Okay, so that's
Right.
we're up to 235.
35. And then number 10, action 10. How much was I hoping for that? Like 20 to 40 points or something, because I consider that a policy.
I think 20 to 40 would be somewhere in that range would be best for that. Because the write-up that you did, Cheryl, is very extensive and it has a lot of documents to support it.
So maybe we got 255.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right. You.
I'll buy more things.
All right, Holly, thank you for going along with me and working through that, because I was very anxious about that.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you went through it and you flagged some things that I just hadn't seen. I really felt like we were fine on points, and I think you've saved some points by going through this.
Well, thanks to Aaron and Katie for flagging them in the first place.
Yeah, that's a great list to have.
Yeah, I just had my head down typing and I haven't looked at anything outside of what I said I would do. So this was really helpful.
Yeah. And Katie and Aaron, while we're on the topic, you've told us a million times, but I keep repressing it because it's so upsetting. But you are heading back to school, both of you, in the next 2 weeks or something. Are we going to have you both here next Friday, or just one of you?
I will not be here next Friday.
You're going to be back at school.
Yes.
Okay, Katie?
I'll be here next Friday.
You'll be here next Friday. Oh dear. Well, this is okay. Well, we'll just have to carry on. But you've both been very, very helpful, and it's just this stuff is so hard, and you make it look easy. So it's really been very helpful with all of us. Now, I think that we've got a good overview that we're probably going to get enough points, especially if we kind of check the boxes that we have to check still. I was going to be asking about the specific things that we still need to do on Action 2 And I was also thinking in terms of action 5, with action 2, I think I've already sent something in to Erin. Did I send it to you, or to Erin and Katie? Did I send it to both of you?
Yep.
And this weekend is really our last time to look over something like that, right?
Mhm.
So if you can just let me know if we're on the right track. This Nip the Knotweed thing has been publicized really almost completely through Facebook due to the COVID situation. So we have about 1 million screenshots from Facebook. We have other photos in addition to that, but that's really what it is. I think she's going to send us her brochure. But any feedback you can give me on that would be great. And then meanwhile, with the whole group, the write-up that I've done on the walking, it reaches certain conclusions where I'm writing them up and I'm speaking for the whole group, really. And so I'm hoping that other people can just take a look at it and just make sure they're comfortable with the conclusions and everything. It's a document that's about 6 pages. I'm sorry?
Okay, and then for my submission, I'm going to finish up my residential education part, right? Which is
Yeah.
part of action 2, and some of it I'll cut out and we'll set that aside for next year, like the signage, that type of thing. But anyway, it's in the works. I'll have it done.
Yeah, and with the that brochure, the Nip the Knotweed people have that great brochure, and so that would be under education. Now, we're allowed to upload 20 documents per action or per sub-action?
Per action, and what I've been doing with my stuff, Holly, is at the bottom of my narrative document, I'm putting images of Facebook. Oh, can you not hear me?
Yeah,
Can you
I got
hear
you.
I can hear you.
Holly's
I can hear
doing
you.
this. Can Holly hear me? We just lost Holly.
Ooh.
I'll hold my comment till she's back because it's for her.
Sorry, I turned my video off when I can't hear to spare
Okay.
bandwidth.
So Holly, what I've been doing with my actions where I have lots of screenshots and things like that is at the end of my narrative document, I'm putting the pictures in that document to save the number of documents that I'm uploading. So I think,
Okay, now I can hear.
I think in 3.1 or something, I have at the end of the narrative lots of the Facebook shots and stuff like that. And then the other thing I wanted to say, and so that's a way of saving on the number, your limit of 20. And then Maureen, we have to look back, but I remember before the end of July, I had Michelle Noren put a link on the Conservation Commission's webpage for one of the invasive things that was part of that action. Because there was something in that action, you must show your website educates people on invasives and how to get rid of invasives. So I don't remember exactly what, I'll find it, but there's now links that go with that.
Okay, and I didn't include that? I thought I had put that in.
Oh, maybe you did. I don't know.
Yeah, I have. In fact, I broke out the web links into a separate document. I don't know if you want that or not as a sidebar, but most of those either show Rogers Lake West Shores or Conservation Commission. Conservation, of course, is part of the town website. So I'm pretty sure I had a whole list of them.
Oh, no, that's fine. You said that you were still working on your education piece. That's what I was referring to.
Just cutting and pasting and at this point eliminating a lot of information. So I'm not going to do any more research. I'm just going to prepare it so we can post it and it's readable.
Yeah,
and follow your format.
And Maureen, you're going to see I did a real land grab in terms of posting supporting documents. So I'm going to have to consolidate and take some off. I've posted something like 16 under Action 2. And then there was something already posted, 1 or 2 things for 2.8. So I'm going to have to consolidate. I know that.
Yeah, okay, so between the two of us, we'll wrap up action 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
And we need to put the number on yours, Holly. It's either 2.10.2 or 2.10.3. I forget which one.
Yeah, I'm 2.10.2, so I'm gonna need to revise those. Do I have to download them and rename them and upload them? Okay.
And
I
yeah,
do?
so,
Okay.
and remember that everything should also be labeled, like you have your number, but then you also say Old Lyme. And remember that anything we submit, because we're gonna get certified this time, it all becomes public record and reflects on Old Lyme. So we wanna make sure everything is labeled as Old Lyme, because like, for example, the communications plan that I did, someone could grab that and use it as a, you know, template for their town. And we just want to make sure that, you know, it says Old Lyme on it and that it is you know, that it looks like it's good quality or whatever.
Good point.
Yeah. And I don't know how.
Good grammar.
I know, which is
Okay.
why I'm glad I'm sending you all my documents, because you're catching really good edits.
A comma here or there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm horrible with that stuff.
Oh, but I'm really good at it.
Good,
It all evens out.
good.
So.
You got it, Holly.
Those were my big issues were, are we going to pass on action 2 and are we going to pass on action 9? It sounds to me as if the things that we need to focus on going forward, I have to undo my land grab. Maureen is going to be writing up more stuff about education. We need to fill out that worksheet, which Erin is going to be sending us.
Okay.
We also need to see about the Tanko situation where, I don't know who our facilities director is. Does anyone know
It's
offhand?
Bill Parkak. I don't know, Maureen, I don't know if I pronounce that right, but it's Phil from the Lions Club.
Oh, okay,
And-
Phil.
Tell me the name again. What is the name?
Phil, and the last name is spelled P like Peter, A-R-C-A-K like kite.
Okay. So we reach out to Phil Parkap and just confirm what the relationship was with Tanko. And then under 7.10, improve air quality, we need to see about any enforcement and signage or other communication. And then with our Optimized for Equity actions, we're going to be sending them over to get reviewed by the Sustainables ahead of time. And those are the main things I think that we need to do. Isn't that right?
I think so. I mean, other than the ones I'm still writing,
Yeah.
the 3s I'm writing.
Yeah, and Cheryl, I don't know how you have time to eat with your output. You're cranking out these documents, so it's it's an awful lot that's happening. But I think that covers what we need to do. And we will be sending things to Erin just over the next 2 days, right? Just today, really. And then you're going into the weekend. And what's your last day?
Today.
Today, oh my goodness. Oh, I'm sorry. I was about to give you a ton more work. So you were very restrained.
Yeah, Katie and I, Katie's last day is next Friday. So
Oh, jeepers.
when I'm gonna work with Katie on if she's like overwhelmed or if she has a lot of work, I'm gonna help like read through things. But
Oh boy. So are you doing something fun before you go to school? Are you getting a little vacation in?
I am not.
No?
No.
Oh boy.
Hey, this is the fun. This is the fun part.
Oh yes. Yep.
Yeah. Well,
Different
you're
for
saving the
everyone
world.
this year because of quarantine. All the I don't want to say kids, all the young adults who are going back to school have to quarantine before class.
Yeah,
No.
we do.
No going to beach bars before the start of the school year.
It's such a strange time. I guess the consolation is everyone's in it together, you know. But boy, it's such a strange thing, all of this.
It is, but if you guys have anything you need reviewed and your equity toolkits, you can send them my way because I'll have plenty of time to look over stuff and get back to you with comments.
Okay. And then I already did send over that thing for 2.10, 2.10.2. So I guess that did I send that to you as well as to Aaron?
Yeah,
that?
I did.
Okay.
And we've pretty much covered all of my comments. Pretty much like Cheryl was saying, you guys just have to be clear about what action exactly you're talking about so you can get points.
Okay.
Your write-up, Holly, looks perfect for 2.10.2.
Okay.
And for 2.10.3, you guys definitely have already had education around nip the knotweed because it sounds like that was sort of like the beginning of every like event you guys did to pull out the knotweed. But it's really important that you get some of the like pamphlets or whatever on your town website because that's what you need to accomplish at this point to be able to get points for it.
Okay, so not just screenshots from Facebook. You need to see that brochure.
Yeah, and the brochure needs to be on the town website, and you can take a screenshot of that and put it and submit that for your application.
Oh, okay. Get the brochure onto the town website. Okay.
Yeah,
That might be what I had them do. I don't know. I gotta look that up. There was something I had her connect to. Let's see. Anyway, I'll look for it while you guys are talking.
Yeah, I mean, the brochure is available. You can get to that brochure from, I think I uploaded that brochure last night when I was sort of learning how to upload. But it's available publicly, but you're saying it has to be available off the town website in order for us to get it.
Yeah, it has to be on the town.
What I did was have Michelle put a link to a video that sits in Facebook. That's how to nip knotweed. So, but there's a brochure and we should have her do that as well. Okay.
Yeah, the guidelines for 2.10.3 are pretty specific and it says, I can read it for you guys, on your municipal website, post invasive species education resources and provide links to the sources.
Okay,
So
that's
you
good. We've got all of that. Between us, the conservation, and nip the knotweed, there's a lot of websites. And I've got them, so I've got the list.
But Katie, you're saying they have to be like, this is what I keep having to get my head wrapped around, that we're submitting as the municipality. So what we need to show is that the municipality is doing these things, not that, well, we can be partners with other people, but we're acting as the municipality.
Yeah, exactly. So this stuff needs to be on the old Lyme town website.
Okay.
Okay, so if it's like the conservation, they've got a part of the town website. We'll use that, right?
Yeah.
What we cannot use then is Rogers Lake West Shores, which is a separate entity. We can't use that?
Yeah, it needs to be on the town website. That has to be your proof for the educational resources.
Okay.
But you know, Maureen, Michelle is more than happy to link things on the Conservation Commission's webpage, which I know you're really familiar with. They have a place for useful links, and it could just, I think it can just link there. Am I wrong in saying that, Katie?
You mean rather than individual pages?
I've got too many screens open here. Well, I think we should get that brochure on to the town website under the Conservation Commission page. There is a document called invasive species on there.
Yeah.
And there's a link to a nip the knotweed video.
Okay.
So all of that is already up.
Yeah, but we need the brochure. So
Yeah.
that's something Michelle can do.
And tell me again, what's the brochure? Is it nip the knotweed?
Yeah, I think Suzanne did it and posted it on the Facebook page.
Okay, so that's pretty easy. That could be just posted to the, put it on conservation.
Yeah, I think she said that she would send it to me. I haven't emailed her yet, but
Yeah.
maybe you could email her and just get that from her.
Yeah, if
We
Suzanne
went to
sent
that.
you guys, if Suzanne sent you guys a PDF of the brochure, and then you simply forward that to Michelle and say, Michelle, please put this on the Conservation Commission webpage, that would be the way to do it, I think.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so Maureen, in terms of division of labor, I'm clearing the stuff away from 2.10.2 and letting you have a little more space for 2.10.3. And then also, just in terms of division of labor, I was going to ask if anyone wants to volunteer to fill out that worksheet that we need to do for 6.5, develop the municipal energy plan. That's going to be a matter of looking at the worksheet and comparing it to the document that's already been uploaded for our municipal energy plan. Any volunteers?
I think if no one is comfortable, I could have my husband try to do it.
I can try to do it and then send it over for proofreading to your house. Does that sound, or, unless if you're, I mean, if I feel like you guys have been doing so much, but if your husband wants to do it, that would be terrific,
Well,
actually.
I'm just thinking it looked kind of technical.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, no, if we have a technical person who can do that, that would be wonderful.
I just know I won't understand it to do it, but
Okay. If you won't understand it, then I won't understand it. So, okay, so we'll send it over to your household with thanks.
Sounds good. I agree. I can't take it on because I'll have enough hand doing to finish mine up. So,
yeah.
Carol, thank you. You get an extra glass of champagne.
So, and I will check with Michelle and Mary Jo about air quality in public places, the signs and things. I was going to make that if no one else wants to do that. And does anyone want to be reaching out to Phil Parkap about the Tanko? Do you have anyone who
Let's see
says?
if Mary Jo can do that on our behalf because she
Okay.
knows that language as well.
Okay, and I'll actually be asking her about the air quality as well.
Okay.
So I'll send an email to Mary Jo about these two things.
You could also remind her that we're in the home stretch so that it won't continue on with all the work we're unloading onto her.
Yeah, it's now to August 25th.
Home stretch, couple of days.
Yeah.
So let's put a deadline on some of these things. We want these done and submitted and reviewed by what, the 19th, the 18th, 17th? What do you think?
Why don't we aim for next? Should we aim for getting everything in by Wednesday? And then Katie can give us a report on Friday about how we're doing, sort of?
Okay, that's the 19th. Okay, so I'm going to put that in the minutes.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Okay, now I will miss next Friday's Zoom meeting. My mother's having surgery that morning.
Oh, boy.
But I can, so my plan was to have hands clear of everything by the 20th. The 19th is fine.
Okay.
But I'm really hoping, I think it's wise, Maureen, like you're saying, to have an early deadline. So for the things I was doing, I was hoping like the 19th or 20th I was done.
I think that's a good plan.
Okay.
There's something else I was going to say. Oh, I know. Holly, did you say that you sent out your draft of 2.
No, I think it's the 5.5 that I sent around 5.5 because I think we're going to be sharing our suggestions with a lot of people. And I don't want to speak for this whole group unless I've at least notified everyone about what we're suggesting.
Right. So 2.10.2. Did you say you sent that too, or no?
Oh, no. I think I just sent 2.10.2 over to Katie and Aaron.
Oh, okay.
And Maureen.
Okay.
So I consider that close to done, except for cleaning up my land grab
Good.
and changing the numbers, you know, so it says 2.10.2. It's not just 2.10. And making sure it says Old Lyme on the title. So I think we're close with that. We have a lot of little detail things to do, but we're almost there, I think, because so many people have worked so hard.
They certainly have. Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah. So.
Did we, Holly, earlier while I was still fumbling with signing on, did you explain about going to Nip the Knotwood last night?
I did not. Maureen went and I went. It was fascinating. They call it a party, but I wouldn't say that people are standing around in high heels drinking champagne. They're in their, you know, their shorts and their boots, and they're clipping these things, and they're having a very good time. It's very jolly, and you can kind of drop in and out.
Well, and especially if you look at how much they've done. Anybody can drive down behind Lyme Art Association and see the hillside that has been cleared by these folks. First of all, they go through and lop it so that they have these tall branches of knotwood weed. And then they go back with hand clippers and clip any of the new shoots. So it's almost like it's thread by thread that they're working on. And they've got half of that hillside that spills off of Hall's Road down into the parking lot. They've got half done, but when you look around, swivel your head around, you realize that that whole area is full of that stuff, including poison ivy climbing up the trees. I asked if they were in tears starting out, and they said no, because they just attack it and do it. And they tried to convince me that it goes fast once they get the loppers going, but I'm not buying it. This group of women, and let me emphasize women, they are dressed in rubber boots and gloves, and they are sweaty and dirty and smiling and silently going about this unbelievable, to me, task of thread by thread lopping this stuff off, with the future task of Lyme Art Association of making that into a naturalized garden so that it could be included in some of the lessons and the artwork. So again, they could tie that in with the educational signage that's up at Haynes Park at Rogers Lake, and also she's willing to do the same thing behind Town Hall. So you'll actually have a 3-point naturalized garden suggesting plants, and with the brochures and tags that indicate what are goods and suggestions for planting. So you got a barrier garden, and then you'll have these 2 other naturalized gardens that are carefully planned. They're all researched. All of those plants are researched to be native and beneficial, and it would make a great next year's application to say that we're collaborating among these organizations to do this, and we've got a little trail of educational signage and almost hands-on gardens. So she was very excited. She thought that would work great. So we can work together on that in the meantime. And again, I said, look around. This is a group of women, dynamic dames, just like this group. Don't mind getting dirty, covered with grub, having to go home and hose off their boots, and you know, like we're burning up the keyboards, they're burning up the growth, but they're a great group. And I'll tell you what, Suzanne is a heck of a leader. She is just so
yeah, she's
positive.
great. Yeah,
she has a great link for us. If we ever feel like we're flagging, we'll just call her and she'll get us going because she's very, very knowledgeable about all the environmental. I mean, that's her thing. Environmental plants growing. She admitted that she should be home weeding her own garden, but instead she's out there with loppers, heavy duty gloves, and carrying around these bags of big black bags of this stuff because you can't leave it there. You can't burn it. It all has to be disposed of properly, and just seems to have every part of it covered. So anyway, they're a great connection, I think. For us.
Yeah, really inspiring.
Ties into the other beautifully. So she's open to anything. I think a lot of our points have come from what she has done with her group. And she just says, use whatever you need.
Yeah, she's very smart and very generous with this stuff.
Yeah, it's all about the big picture.
Yeah.
So yeah, Holly gets points because she went last night with her rubber boots and her gloves.
I didn't pull anything. I was going to, and it just, I got some pictures, but I'm going to do it the next time. They really were having fun. So.
Well, I would call it fun, but yeah.
They were smiling.
I did not go to work. My only contribution, I confess, was that I brought watermelon.
So you had your big basket. So.
Holly brought little tiny tomatoes, and that was a big hit too. So
yeah.
We contributed something.
That time of year.
Last night, and Cheryl, you were at a different meeting.
I was at the Halls Road Improvement Committee, and I did report out on the walkability findings.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Oh, so that's already been done.
Good.
Great.
Mary Jo. And so I reported out on that, and they appreciated hearing that your findings on the survey were in line with the findings of the Economic Development Commission's survey, that people want to be able to walk in Old Lyme.
Yeah.
And on Halls Road.
Yeah.
And you know,
yeah.
I think it wouldn't hurt to note that, Holly, when you do your write-up, is that they have been compatible, because referencing that economic development survey, I think would be a good thing and a really good municipal thing. Not to mention the fact that that survey is very solid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'll see if I can fit that in. And, then again, I mean, when I get to my conclusions, I may say something about trimming along the sides of roads. So people, if they want to, can vote with their feet and turn the sides of roads into walking trails. That's one idea I was going to run past everybody. Everything is finalized except that very end of it. And so look at what I've sent to you. If you have any suggestions, come back with that. And I'm afraid, Erin, are we going to be losing you in the next couple of minutes? See, you have to jump off?
Yep.
You have to jump off for something else?
Yep.
Okay, well, this is sad, but thank you so much for everything. It's really, it's, like I said, you made it look easy and got us through all of this.
Thank you
So
so much.
Of course. Thank you guys. I'm so excited for your submission.
Hey, I've got someone at my door. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, well, I hope you are going to do some fun things before you hunker down with the books. So even if it's not, you're not going to be traveling or something, do some fun stuff.
Before we go, the word sustainable has been showing up in various places in the town actions. For example, last night, one of those sweaty ladies was on the school sustainable committee. Are they talking about sustainable as a generic topic, or is that part of sustainable CT, which this is?
Maureen, I think if you look at the write-up for 10, it'll actually tell you, answer the question you had last night about the sustainability group at the school. Cheryl put a good bit about that into her write-up for 10. About those,
all right.
the electric buses. I meant to mention that.
Okay. And then one of the school sustainable ladies was part of that group. And of course, then there's Halls Road. And it would be I would think it would behoove us in advance to know some of this work rather than sort of stumbling over it as we're preparing our submission. So I'm just curious if there are other sustainable CT groups within Old Lyme.
I don't believe that there is.
Okay, well, that's close enough. I'll accept that for an answer. As long as we're referencing their work, I think that's great.
Yep.
Okay, all right, that's all I need to know.
So,
All right.
Okay.
Well, it was great seeing you all.
Yeah,
it's
which
great
one is-
working with you.
Friday?
Thanks a million.
So,
So Katie, Erin, who will be here at the meeting next Friday? Which one of you?
I will be at the meeting next Friday. This is Katie.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, listen, I echo what the others have said. You have been terrific. You have been responsible and responsive for everything we've been trying to do. So this really is your celebration. I hope you put it on your resume.
So,
If you need any references,
yeah, speak up. So,
No
Thank
kidding,
you.
because we
Documentation.
could write one as a group. We could write a letter of reference and say all of those wonderful character traits, and that you have documented and followed through, and that's nothing small.
And
Believe
it's-
me, not
it's
small.
very complicated.
So you've made us look good. I'll tell you that.
So,
Okay, well, good. So somebody is also going to tune us into the meeting next week and record it.
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
okay. Now, I sort of feel that we've used up our hour here, and I'd like to stick with Robert's rules a little bit. Our next meeting is Friday, August 21st via Zoom, as Maureen said. In the meantime, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting we're in?
so moved.
So moved.
So
Do we
moved.
have a second? Second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye or raise your hand. Aye. All opposed, say nay. Raise your hand. Anyone abstaining? Okay, well then the ayes have it, and our meeting is adjourned. And Erin, we're very sorry we won't see you next week, but have a great little vacation.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Be well, everybody.
Okay, thanyes for everybody's
Bye.
work.
Bye.